This is the DCN 650N. This is DeWalt's 15 gauge braider finish nailer. The skin only, you can get this for $600 AUD, and it is a ripper of a tool to have. If you saw my past video, you saw that I unboxed 20 separate tools, all DeWalt, and I told you there'll be a lot of reviews coming. So it's been over a month now. I've used this tool, this finisher, so many times, so now I can actually give you guys a good proper review and not just what I think from the first impressions of it. We'll start with the first impressions though, and straight out of the box, it is a nice, balanced, easy, lightweight tool. It operates just on a 5 amp battery, which makes the whole tool really rounded with its balance. I've used some tools where it's just too top heavy or too bottom heavy, and when you're holding it, just the unbalance of the tool just makes it feel so much more difficult to use and move around while you're trying to nail all day. It's got an awesome new design of a nose. So when you want to nail your nails, you've got so much more visibility around. It's very clear and precise on where you're going to nail it. And that is something I adapted to straight away. It's easy enough to reload your 15 gauge nails. All you have to do is pull back your slide the nails in, and then close it behind you. Only problem is, if we can see now, I'm like really struggling to get these nails up into the slide of the gun. That is something that did happen with some wear and tear. It wasn't like that when I first bought the gun, but it looks like it's just got some dirt stuck in there. It just way too quickly, within the space of a couple weeks, it's just got really cluttered in that magazine, and now it's getting hard for me to slide my nails up. I have been using this gun outside using cladding boards, and I have been placing it down in dirt. Well, I had nowhere else to put it. Trying to be as careful with it to keep it out of the dirt and keep the loose dirt out of this gun. I do think I've got some dirt in there, and you can see with that bit of dirt, those nails are really hard to reload. Another problem as well is if you put a full rack of nails in, while there's still a few nails at the top, the racks might go past where your little clip is for your magazine, but when you push your clip back, that clip's going to fly right past all the nails, and it's not actually going to grab where it needs to be. You kind of need to take the clip off and fiddle around with it to get it in its position, which is definitely not what it should be doing. So that's one thing I don't like about this gun, and what I might do is just show you something else that I don't like about the gun, and then we can jump into all the good things. I'm sure if you're looking at a lot of reviews of this DCN 650N, you're probably hearing a lot of good things about it because it's a great tool. And so the second thing I don't like about it, and I'm going to bring up that's not good about it, is that it jams and it misfires way too often for my liking. Firstly, if it does jam, it is easy enough to fix. You can just pull that clip down in the magazine, and just here with one hand, I can just open that gun up and I'm in there. Easy, I can take those nails out and then I can just push it back on and we're good to go. So it is a nice, easy fix. I will say a lot of these jams may be my fault. I've been shooting into some harder timbers, shot into some thin bits of steel too, and look, fixes, the nails aren't designed to go through that stuff. I have had a lot of times where I've tried shooting, it's just misfired, it's just shooting blank, it's not shooting sometimes. It is more on the rarer side that happens, but I will say that after a month it has been doing this. When I brought DeWalt's framing nail gun, I never had that at all. I don't think I've ever had a misfire with that gun, and this gun's already doing it after a month. There are honestly the two problems that I can pick up about this gun. You can take that however you like it. You can think that's just a writer for a gun, but in my opinion, I do think most of these finisher guns, no matter what brand you use, they do jam and misfire a fair bit. Let's jump into the good stuff now, what I do like about this gun. One thing that sold me straight away is this nice, deep belt hook. You'll slide that onto your nail belt, and that is not going to drop off at all. It is so deep, so nice and narrow that it's never going to cross your mind it will drop off your nail belt. I love that, especially using expensive tools like this. You do not want to worry about your tool dropping off and hitting the ground. Actually, I'm just going to jump back and just put in one more point about this gun. Not criticizing it, but in case you're wondering, this battery finisher gun is still nowhere near as quick as all those air hose pneumatic guns. They're a lot better if you are doing a fix and you're just nailing off heaps of skirts, heaps of arcs. You still want to run those air hoses out. It does shoot a lot quicker. While this does have bump fire, it does shoot really quick. And I do use this a lot, especially when I'm just maybe arcing a singular door frame, putting a few skirts around. It's just a little bit too slow when you're doing an entire house, and I still will recommend getting that hose out so you've got that quicker air hose gun going for you. Some quick specs about this gun. It is on a 34-degree angle with the magazine. It can fit in 110 nails at a singular time, and those nails can be anywhere in between 32 to 63 millimeters. Obviously it's cordless, ran on these 5 amps lithium ion batteries, means you don't need to worry about gas, you don't need to worry about running hoses. So it's really convenient, even though we have established that you still want to run those hoses for bigger jobs. As I covered before, we do have this micro nose, which makes it so much easier to just aim and see where you're aiming with the gun. That is brilliant, I do love that. Something else I do like about this is we got 2 little ends for our nose attached on the side of our magazine here. They're just soft plastic padding that you can put on the end of your nose and it's not going to damage your work area. I don't have one of those on at the moment and I don't need it for most of the work. It doesn't really leave any marks at all. It is quite neat anyway. But if you are doing some work and it's going to be seen and you don't want the slightest of marks, you got 2 right there which you can put on and take off and leave on your gun so you don't have to worry about losing them. Another cool thing here, which I've honestly just noticed today, is you've got a little pencil sharpener on the magazine as well. It is for a circular 2B, 4B, whatever size pencil you use. You can't sharpen your carpenter's pencil with that. But that is a cool little add-on that you have there. We do have multifunctional LED lighting here, which right now it's flashing, and that's just saying that the battery I have in it is flat. It's got enough battery to flash a light and telling me I need to recharge my battery, but it also does that when you're using the gun and the batteries are starting to die. The light will flash, give you that indication to switch over the batteries first. Also what they do though, the main purpose of these LED lights, LED lights, is they'll shine right up on the angle to your workspace, which illuminates the entire area, not just where you're working, but you can see the whole workspace around you. I do like these lights, they're really good, and where you're holding the gun, they're not going to get in the way of anything. Obviously you'll get a little bit of a shadow line where the magazine is and above the gun, but there's not too much that you can do about that, and I don't think that is a concern at all. You do get enough light around your workspace. We can switch this over from multi-fire mode to single fire mode. The single fire mode means that the gun won't wind up, it won't get ready to shoot, unless you push that nose down, it will wind up, then you can shoot it. When I say wind up, just picture these motors that they've got a big fan. That fan spins around when you press the trigger down, and then once it winds up, it goes quick enough, you shoot it, and that fan hits the nail, pushes the nail out. So in single fire mode, that fan won't start spinning until that nose is pushed back on where you want to shoot it. Or if you change it over to bump fire mode, you can hold your finger down, it winds that fan up to max speed, and you can just hit your workspace, and it shoots straight away. So when you're not too worried about exactly where your nails are going, you use bump fire mode, you can hold your finger down, get ready to shoot, and you can just shoot them off. I chuck in a couple clips right now of me using the singular and the bump fire mode, so you can get a little bit of a sound of what that fan sounds like. I don't think the fan is a correct term to call it, that's just what I'm calling it to easily explain how the machine works. But you can also see how loud it is shooting and how frequent it can shoot on your bump fire mode. In this clip you can't hear that wind up sound of the gun, the audio just didn't pick it up, but that wind up sound is still present while on bump fire mode. Also I should mention as well that this belt hook can change from either side. It does come attached to your gun on the left hand side, so it's great to just slide onto your right hand side of your nail belt so that the nose is facing away from you, but you can spin that around and change which way it goes, so you can put it onto either side of your belt. I mentioned that it was really well balanced, it's easy to hold, and the handle is a really well designed handle. I feel like I've got larger hands and it fits really well. I can hold it really comfortably in a good grip, and other co-workers that have used this that might have smaller size hands do also complement the grip and how well it sits in your hand. So the weight for this is 2.6 kilograms, and I feel like a lot of the time weight doesn't matter too much. It's about how balanced and distributed that weight is. So it's a 2.6 easily rounded balanced weight, which means that it's light and it's not just, all the weight isn't just in one part of the tool making it weigh down that way. It is very easy to hold and a well balanced tool. Also mentioned at the top here, we do have an anti-jam mechanism. So it means if the pin's stuck forward, you can just pull this little trigger back, and that will release the pin from minor jams. If it just gets a bit stuck in there, some dirt or something, pull it back and it's good to go. Talking about dirt, you do need to clean this if you do use it in a dirty environment. If you get it dirty, you need to clean it, but obviously no gas means you don't actually have to service this tool too, so you save yourself a lot of money not worrying about servicing it. There you have it. There is the DCN 650. I just hope you guys haven't been judging my disgusting paint job on this too much. I can promise when you buy a brand new one, it comes nice and pretty and doesn't look as poor as this one. Thank you for watching this review. Let me know if you have used one of these or if you are thinking about buying one. I'd love to hear your input. Catch you all next time.